everybody, and welcome back to another Talk of the Night. I'm not tired yet, so let me just randomly rant about Silva for however long. This is my thoughts, unresearched, unpure. This is just my raw, pure thoughts, which is Talk of the Nights in general, but especially here today. Let me breathe in. Breathe out. Now, I think let's clarify one thing. For the most part, certain actions with this character, I can understand. Okay? We explored this family system. We know what type of family system we're dealing with. We know that essentially the character that we're dealing with was the inevitable. I think, I'm not sure, how Zeno was as a dad. We know him as a granddad, but as a dad, it's safe to assume that emotional avoidance was pretty much normal within that household. And then you have his mom, which instead of a typical, normal, nurturing mom, whatever, I'm not expecting women to be saints or anything. I'm just saying, the typical, normal mom. They make some mistakes then and there, don't get me wrong, they're still human. But for the most part, you could tell your mom cares. We get a woman that's very emotionally cold and was basically raised to be that way. So you ain't gonna change this woman's mind for jack shit. And I bet her ass raised a multitude of kids. I know only child behavior, and what he has is golden child behavior. I know for a fact Silva has siblings. He's not the only kid. Where his siblings are at, I will possibly talk about that later. All we need to know is that the family system that these kids have, as odd as I'm about to say this, was probably somewhat softer than what this man had to go through, even though he was the favorite. And on top of that, which is what we're going to get into today, which is Silva's hypocrisies. Let's start off with what we know. Okay? So Silva, compared to the rest of his siblings had this arranged marriage ordeal. That was their thing. That's how their family kept going. Love is not on the top of their mind. But Silva was different. He was out there. And he fell in love with somebody who we know good and well this family would not approve of. This is a wealthy family we're talking about. And if there's anything they want to upkeep, it's prestige. It's status. And no offense, but a lot of people, if you were to tell them within this world, it's like, hey, I'm from Meteor City, it would be like, oh, so worthless. That's the translation, especially for wealthy families who I guarantee benefited from their exploitation. So to say essentially what you consider trash to be into your family, it's gonna rock a couple of things. But they ended up not liking her, right? I still think they hate her, but tolerate. But again, we see how eventually that drove Kikyo naturally insane. I don't think Miss Thing was always that way. I think, don't get me wrong, she was traumatized due to her growing up in Meteor City. Add on top of that, despite you thinking you're in a better position, but it just seems like the pressure never falls off. And now you got all these eyes on you. Not because they like you, but because they hate you. And they haven't done anything to physically harm you yet. They haven't killed you, but the fact that they thought about it is on your mind, and now it's making you paranoid as shit, naturally. Okay? To be fair, I think Silva and Kikyo, that was a rebellious moment for Silva. I think in that type of situation, he was like, what the hell do I do? And he was just going with the flow. And this is not me saying that you should just follow your dysfunctional family and be totally okay. This is the one time I'll say this shit ain't his fault. He was born into mess. This is the one time I'm going to say this ain't his fault. But everything after is. So I'll be like, okay, mistake-ish, number one. But I'm not going to consider it a mistake because you can't control love and romantic attraction no matter how hard you try. You can't do it. If somebody falls in love, they end up falling in love. What the fuck are you going to do? Can't control shit. Fine. Shit ruffled feathers of the family, and it brought some cracks, but they were like, we just gonna push through and move on. We still don't like her. We might not invite her to a couple of things, because we still deem her as less than, but at least, she better be grateful enough that we allowed her in our space, type of thing. So again, not necessarily love and no kiss, hugs, but it's alright. Then the first kid came along. Now again, one thing I noticed about Silva is that he's known for hypocrisy. Alright? So with the first kid, I think he ultimately knew that his marriage compared to the rest of his siblings shook shit up. So he was like, let me redeem myself a little bit. And he tried that with the first kid, being like, listen, let's see if these arrangements are going to work for you. And for whatever reason, the first kid just kept going chop, chop. Those arrangements were not happening. The 18th birthday, aka the debuts, they were not working out the way it was supposed to. Them bat mitzvahs, it was not click-clackering. And for whatever reason, it'd be like, I ain't doing this no more. And it was just a sad defeat. Not even just like an alright, but more like a, fuck am I supposed to do with you? Okay? Because if you started off, with some socialization, plopping down a baby at 12, being like, this could be you. This could be your future. I'm trying to socialize you into your future a little bit. Because again, I read this character, the first child, as, within the trans-masculine sphere. Meaning, the beginning steps of the life was more so being raised as a girl. And then later on, the family was like, you know what? Identify with whatever the fuck you gonna do. You shapeshift anyways, so I can't keep track of what the fuck you are anymore. But before that, it was like, plop, here's a baby. It'd be like, what the hell is this? This is the new hire. If I were to ask Auntie, future Olympics, like if I were to ask Auntie, has this ever happened to you before? And she says no, I'm gonna find a way to knock you out. And at first, again, you don't want to build resentment with your kids, but that's eventually what happened to Silva. Which again, that's just what happened. There ain't nothing you could do. That's just what happened. First kid, plop. Here's a baby. 12. It's your new brother. You'd be like, oh, that's great. He gonna be the hire of the family. You know the standard. You know what we look for in hires. It'd be like, that's to be expected. I ain't really mad at that. It's like, that's okay. And you gonna raise him. What happened to mom? For some reason, mom's not capable. So you gonna be mama replacement. In a way. Not in a creepy way. I think. Most likely not in a creepy way. Okay? Let's relax in this household. But it's like, she right there. Well, she gonna do what she gonna do. That's it. And then we got baby number 4, aka Alka. It's like she was born. It was whatever. It was cool. But then, and here comes the part where it's like, again, not Silva's fault completely. I think Zeno, and this really started from the very beginning. See, this family, they like to hide shit, and then they keep hiding shit. They keep hiding shit, and once it's too late, now something really bad happened, but instead of holding themselves accountable, be like, you know what, I fucked up, I hid that for a while. I didn't know it would follow me. Because again, Zeno and a couple of other families from this Zolan family, they went to the dark continent. They brought that shit back home. You out here bringing all kinds of spirits and whatnot back home. We gotta be out here cleansing the whole house and shit. But the thing is, you didn't even tell us that this is what you brought back. It's like, ooh, look at all this cool shit. One of this cool shit is probably cursed as fuck. And now, baby number 4 got a conjoined twin type situation with the demon. Practically. And it's like, great. My baby's messed up. But I don't know where the hell it came from. So I'm going to just blame the baby. Because why not? And then we got kid number 5. Forgotten. Just be like, I lost the will to give a shit. Do whatever the fuck you want with kid number 5. Which is just so sad. That poor baby don't deserve that. We all know that. Poor baby don't deserve that. That's neither here nor there. Again, let's start off with the hypocrisies. We noticed that with Alika, right? Killer was basically like, hey, she's not, property or whatever. She's part of this family. And be like, I don't think she is. And it's like, so I'm gonna beat your ass. On top of that, and be like, she's killed people. And that was really the part with the election arc, the episode that made me just go, do you know what family you're in? Maybe I'm crazy. No, retrace. Maybe I'm the crazy one. But last time I checked, your ass is in an assassin family. The fuck doesn't matter if baby girl done killed a couple people. So have you. The baby got a knife. See the youngest cow told the baby got a knife. Everybody in this fucking kills people. Your siblings kill people. Bet your nieces and nephews kill people. Your mama and your daddy kill people. Your grandparents kill people. That's what y'all do. Why are we singling out baby girl? Because she's half a demon. First kid's got a banshee affliction anyways. So in all actuality, I don't know why the hell you scared of Alika for real when the first kid got a banshee situation. You probably noticed that shit at a young age. Where the powers were basically like, oh, you can do that. You shriek like a banshee. And turn into this weird demon thing. I didn't know that's what, back in the day, I'm going to say Miss, it's going to switch. I didn't know that was what little Miss thing was doing. It's just skreek. Hair flying up. Demon shit. And it'd be like, I didn't know that's what kids could do. And it'd be like, alright. But also, it's probably due to, again, even with Silva marrying Kikyo, it's like maybe he's starting to believe what his mom believes low-key, but he don't want to admit that in a way. Not that his mom was right, because his mom was wrong. Let your son love whoever he want to love. This is the one time I'm going to defend Silva. One time. Even though it didn't work out, his marriage turned out to be a mess anyways. And that's mostly due to him staying enmeshed in the family. That was his goddamn mistake. And another hypocrisy. Which I'm getting into right now. See, that's his mistake. Because realistically, with a family like that, a family as damaged as this, and you being like, I want to marry the person I want to marry. What your ass should have done is just separate. Because your family to this day is still making your wife hella uncomfortable. And now this poor woman done lost her goddamn mind. No wonder she's not raising these kids right. She's in an environment that's making her goddamn crazy. I'm not absolving her from any blame, by the way. She does have a hand in damaging her kids as well. But at the same time, she's dealing with tough situations. To the point where it's like, my girl, you a soldier for real. What you need to do is go on up and soldier your way out this door. That's what you need to do. Hallelujah. Come on. See, that's the thing, right? With a lot of these men. That's kind of the thing I noticed where it's like, you love this person. You clearly know that this person is uncomfortable by your family. Your family's making them uncomfortable. If you don't stand up and be like, hey, stop making her uncomfortable, or I'm finna leave, and actually stand on your shit, stand on your boundaries and leave, I'm gonna be so for real. See, that's the part where it's like, see, now I'm mad again. It went from, I see where you coming from, I feel bad, back to, I'm mad again. I'm upset again. Because there was another way. You just didn't take it because your ass was pussy. I don't care how tall you are. I don't care how many muscles you have. That does not make you a strong person to me. A strong person is a person with integrity. And Silva has none. That's probably what makes me the most angry. This nigga has no integrity. And to be fair, he came from a family where integrity was probably not a thing that they focused on. But at the same time, sometimes you gotta build yourself up and you gotta put integrity in yourself because nobody else is gonna do it. But you didn't even do that. And your ass is too old for this shit. Like, for example, let's talk about that spider situation, right? Where he ended up killing a spider or whatever. That situation didn't need to happen. I'm gonna be so fucking for real. Didn't need to happen. Mission, no mission, I don't know. It seems like it was one of those situations where it wasn't a mission and then he did it anyways. At the same time, he's really criticizing the first kid, being like, I don't get why the first kid, is so messy sometimes. I don't get why, why my first kid's got some anger issues. First of all, I would be angry too in a house like this. That basically, even as like the quote unquote give and take, like I said before with my last analyzation, it's more of a give. I keep giving, you keep taking. And I ain't getting no real reward from this. I'm not really getting any benefits from this. Eventually, I'm gonna be pissed the fuck off, first of all. And second of all, naturally, I got these anger issues from you. You'd be like, yo, stay away from them spiders, man. Stay away. And it's just like, you're the one that aggravated them, though. See, that's the thing with Silva. A lot of the times when you really sit down and think about it, even like his kids, right? Again, starting off with kid number 1. You really sit down and process this, it goes all the way down to like that needle situation with Silva. Yes, the first kid followed through with the commands. So in a way, if you don't analyze it deep enough, you are going to blame the first kid. But then you got to realize who gave that order in the goddamn first place. You'd be like, oh, this power, can manipulate people. Maybe if you did that, I'm telling you. Silva's like, I'm telling you to do that shit. Nigga, that wasn't necessary. That was not necessary. Now we got mess number, I don't know. But see, that's the thing. Similar to like a character with BoJack, you see them low-key fucking up all the goddamn time. But the thing is, they don't know how to clean up after they mess. So now everybody else gotta deal with their bullshit. Now we stuck here in this bitch. And it really makes you question leadership and eventually be like, why the fuck do I gotta listen to you? Shit is hitting the fan because you keep saying bullshit. One stupid thing after the other. This shit's a mess. You don't know how to be a leader for real, because a leader can hold themselves accountable and be like, you know what, I fucked up. Here's the new plan. You don't know how to do that. You don't know how to adapt. You fuck up and you cower. Which really, that's what, people with MPD, unfortunately, this is kind of just their current cycle. Once you get past like the grandiosity, which is, a bunch of bullshit, cause fuck is you grandiose for? You ain't got nothing to be proud of for real. Shit, I think another person, basically pointed this out, and So have I, just in a more subtle way. But this person overtly said, man, this first kid, for real, you know, Looney, does a better job with assassination than you. A lot of the times, right? And if this family really focuses enough, I think, you know, having manipulation powers is probably the better end with this kind of work, considering you kind of need to be more quiet and better, you know, more clean and precise. And by the way, I think it was like with the 10 Dons, that situation was swept up real fast. We saw that situation swept up instantaneously. Where it was like, we saw you and Crollo, you know. Now, mind you, Crollo's a specialist, so I see why, you know, eventually he had to call his dad. But probably, let's really think about how many times he probably had to do that, regardless. Even without, you know, like the spiders or whatever. This nigga hurts my brain. I can only imagine being these kids. This shit hurts your head eventually. And you got like this other kid being a golden child. He's trying to realize himself. Hopefully, when, you know, Killer comes back and realizes himself in full, he absolutely just dogs the shit out of you. I want him to be as angry as, and I'm just going to make another reference here. You know Steven, like teenage Steven, right, from Steven Universe, he got older, and he started getting more upset and being like, get off my dick, basically. I want that kind of shit for Killer. I want him to actually come back, and instead of ripping into his mom, because, again, mostly, I see it with like the ladies and the femmes he's kind of ripping into, and it's just like, dude, that's not who you need to really be mad at. You need to be mad at your goddamn dad. I need you to come back and bring your dad to flames, because that's the problem. And again, this is more of a societal problem in general. We always flock and give the worst of the worst to like the ladies and the femmes, while we let the men, who most of the time started that mess in the first place, get away with shit. I'm not bitches. You better come through and come correct. As a man, come through and come correct. And that's only part one of my rant. Anyways, I think I got it out of my system. I'm gonna come back for more. I hope y'all have a good day, a good evening, or whatever time that you're listening to this. And I'll see y'all next time.